Hey there, Darin Garman. This is video number 2 where I'm talking about, the guy that's going against the grain here, I'm talking about why multifamily values will go up in a big way over the coming years. Big way. And this is video number 2 on why that's the case. Okay, the first video we shot, just by quick way of review, that you watched, hopefully you watched, we talked about demand. We know the line of tenants is going to keep increasing and increasing and increasing. You can't have anything that goes down in value when the demand goes up, especially multifamily. So let's talk about reason number 2. And it has to do with kind of a funny saying I've got. And it is stash your cash. Stash your cash. Okay? So the majority of you watching right now have your cash stashed somewhere. CD, savings account, checking account. Maybe you're in the stock market still with some stocks. Maybe you invested in gold. I mean, we could the list is long. But you have your cash stashed somewhere. Well, I'm going to tell you, multifamily is now growing in a big way because it is the place to stash cash. Why is it the place to stash cash? Is it because of rate of return? No, not really because of rate of return. Is it because of the demand that you're talking about? Possibly, yeah. But here's one of the few reasons that no one talks about, which everybody thinks about, but nobody talks about. Okay? Reason number 1. Insulation. Insulation. Okay? So, if I invest in a 100-unit apartment community, is it going to drop like the stock market did in value? Especially that quickly? No, it's not. All right? It's not. Residents are still there paying rent, like we talked about in our last video. Everything else is still running. So, real estate insulates cash in a big, big way from ups and downs and unpredictability of events that have nothing to do with the investment. So let me ask you this. COVID-19. What does COVID-19 have to do with Sherwin-Williams paints? What did COVID-19 have to do with Sherwin-Williams paints? Nothing. But what happened to Sherwin-Williams paint stock? It went down, didn't it? Okay? And I could say the same thing. I'm not picking on Sherwin-Williams. Boy, I love their paint. It's great. But I could pick on every company out there that's in the stock market, with maybe the exception of Amazon and maybe a handful of others. Right now. Their values go up and down based on outside forces. This pandemic had nothing to do with paint. But why does the paint stock go down? And almost every other stock on the stock market. Well, guess what? Multifamily does not do that. It doesn't matter if there's a virus. Why? Because people still need a place to live. It doesn't matter what happens politically. It doesn't matter what President Trump decides. It doesn't matter what the Democrats do. It doesn't matter what the Republicans do. It doesn't matter what China does. It doesn't matter what North Korea does. It doesn't matter. It matters over here with my paint stock and all my other stocks and a bunch of my other investments, but it has nothing to do with my apartment community. So what's going to happen with my apartment community? It's going to insulate. It's going to insulate. Number 2, protection. Now, not the protection that I just talked about. I'm talking cyber protection. I'm talking security protection. How many of you have had your credit card, your debit card, your bank account, savings account, some online account hacked by somebody in the last year. By the way, statistics show it's the majority of you. You can't go a week without reading in newspaper, magazine, whatever, someone lost their information. It was stolen. Right? It was stolen. I mean, you can't go a week without reading something about some retailer, some company, data's been breached, stolen. Our national government, our government cannot keep people out. They keep breaking in, stealing stuff. Can you do that with a 100-unit apartment community? Can you break in there and get anything? No. No, you can't. No, you can't. Protection. Insulation from the ups and downs. Protection of your money from thieves, from those that want to rip you off. Okay? Those are two. Then the last one is this, right here. Predictability. Predictability. Remember, we're talking stashing your cash and the reasons why here. Insulation, protection, predictability. So I can show you what my 100-unit apartment community is and what every one of those units rents for. I can tell you what the rent's going to be this month, next month, 90 days from now, 120 days from now. I know what that's going to be. Can you say the same thing about your stock investment? Can you say the same thing about your commodities investment? Can you say the same thing about most any other investments? A few you can, but most of the time you can't. Predictability. I pretty much know what's going to happen. 2 months from now, 6 months from now, I pretty much know. And I can make decisions into the future based on what I know is going to happen. Okay? So look, reason number 2, multifamily value is going to go up, and up in a big way in the coming months. Okay? Second reason that's going to be the case is my stash your cash reasons. And the reasons why many investors are stashing their cash, by the way, it's not because of rate of return. Okay, we're going to talk more about that in another video. I mean, that's part of the puzzle. Of course, it's important. But insulation, protection, and predictability. All right? We're going to go to video number 3 now and tell you exactly the big reason. I mean, we've gone over some pretty convincing ones so far, the ones that I'm seeing, but now I'm going to hit you with the biggest reason here in video number 3. All right?